said that it was looking for any documents and physical evidence possessed in violation of 3 sections out of 18 USC. That's the criminal code. Section 793, 2071, and 1519. So what you ought to know, let's just take a minute about what these sections are. Section 793 pertains to the transmitting of defense information. So that if they found a document that pertained to some transmittal by Trump of defense information, then that could be a crime. Second, 2071 is the concealment, mutilation, or removal of court records. Now, I don't know how they're going to apply that to Trump, because it's not even copies of records. I have all sorts of court records, but they're not the official court records. It's the concealment, mutilation, or removal of actual judicial records that's a problem. So I don't know what they could possibly find under that potential crime. And the third one, section 1519, has to do with the destruction, alteration, falsification, or entry on a record, could be a government record intended to obstruct justice. So again, it's not messing up with your own copy where you put notes on it or anything. It has to do with actual court records that someone is trying to mutilate, obstruct, mutilate, or falsify. And so this would have to be something that he has submitted or would be submitted. We're not dealing with just copies of records. You can destroy copies of court records. It's just their actual records. So this was the basis. Thus, they are really fishing for stuff. So maybe under here they want to go after the archive records or whatever. So the takeaway from this is that this search of Trump really appears to be a broad search looking for whatever they can find to convict him of something. It is a politicization of the Department of Justice. So while the Democrats say, "Oh, we're having equal application of the law," no one's above the law. But the problem is, no one should be the subject of an intent to find a crime to convict that person. They are going out of their way. They aren't doing this. They don't do this to the average person. They're doing it because they hate Trump and they want to get Trump. That's why they're doing it. That is improper. And when Trump happens to be the main political opponent of Biden, tending to run for president, probably, this is a politicization of the Department of Justice that is infuriating. Whether you're a Democrat or Republican, you should be very upset at this. And that's what's going on. So right now, what happened today in court, Judge Reinhart said that he's giving the Department of Justice a week to redact parts and propose what parts of this affidavit that they will reveal. Because the affidavit that they submitted to the judge will show what basis they had for requesting these very broad searches. And it's very likely going to show that they really were fishing. Now, the Department of Justice says, "Oh my goodness, we don't want to identify witnesses. That may destroy our case." Well, maybe, but let me tell you this. There are 3 bases for keeping this affidavit confidential. One is to protect the guy being investigated. That's why they keep the proceedings secret most of the time. But that's out of the bag. The Attorney General has acknowledged they're out to get Trump. And these are the three crimes that they're pursuing. So it isn't going to protect Trump. One, they says they don't want to jeopardize their investigation. Well, there really is no reason for that anymore. Everybody knows this investigation is going on now. And and so sooner or later, if you participate, your name is going to be known, and because the defendant would be entitled to discovery, and they can go after that person. So there's no legitimate basis to protect a witness anymore, and nor the investigation. I don't think there's any valid reason remaining. And especially, unlike a normal private citizen, this has become politicized. And the real egregious problem with this is how the Department of Justice has been politicized by the Biden administration, and is an egregious wrong. It would destroy our public. our republic if this were allowed. What has to happen, hopefully the Republicans will gain control of Congress. They can do an investigation. Hopefully the Biden administration will eventually lose, and there can be a new appointee in the Department of Justice. And some of these egregious errors have to be gone after, and people have to pay the price. For 4 or 5 years, the FBI and Department of Justice have been falsifying documents in order to try to get Trump. We've had enough of it. It's wrong, and somebody needs to pay the price, not just get a slap on the wrist. People like Comey, McCabe, and the 2 former heads of the CIA and the other department, I forget their name. I mean, they're just lying and trying to hurt someone. This is wrong and needs to stop. All right, that's our discussion for today. You have to tune in on this. In the future, there will be other mentions. I want to mention one other thing about Attorney General Garland, who has been responsible for this, has admittedly approved all of this. It appears that he did not anticipate the backlash that was created by these warrants. It's an indication that he is so tuned in to the people who hate Trump and think that this investigation is needed, that he apparently didn't understand that half the nation is going to be in an uproar about this. And that's just a sign of how unin tune he is with what's going on in America. Right now, until this is fully exposed, till the affidavit is fully exposed, Trump is actually going to have an advantage in politics about this because the administration is hiding what they're doing. They're avoiding full disclosure. In other words, they are not being transparent, and what they're doing seems to be clearly improper, and hopefully they will pay for this in the next election. That concludes our program for today. Just want you to remember that the liberties that we enjoy in America can be maintained only when its citizens are moral and involved participants in the democratic processes. I hope you'll visit my website. I've got some books there on other issues that are of critical importance for our nation today. That's cpaulsmith.com. Till we meet again, see you next time. This is Paul Smith.